My name is Christian Nieves, founder of Pivot to Profit. We are an educational company that teaches people about the Forex markets, along with trading commodities and indices, and a little bit of cryptocurrency as well. We've been going at it about a year strong, taught over 80 plus students throughout our time already, and have helped people go from knowing little to nothing about the foreign exchange markets to becoming profitable traders in as little as 3 months, which is a very astounding thing to me because myself personally, I had no mentor, I had nobody to teach me, and it took me over a year before I even started to see myself not blowing accounts all the time. I was just constantly frustrated, constantly losing money in the markets, didn't know what I was doing, and was just going on YouTube and struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling, and I couldn't get out of this rut. And then got connected with the right people, started working with different peers who were learning how to trade as well, and learned from my mistakes and realized that a lot of the stuff that you guys are going to see on YouTube, a lot of the stuff that you guys are going to see from these gurus is going to mislead you. A lot of these indicator-based strategies, a lot of these RSI, stochastic, MACD, oscillator, you can drop a million different things on your charts and they'll help you. But more than not, especially when you're new, they're going to hurt you a lot more than they're going to help you because they're going to misguide you, which is why I have found that teaching people price action trading first before you learn anything else is one of the most important things. And that's what we're going to go over a little bit today. Going to go over a little bit about what we teach, what we offer, and then give you guys some free content, some free information to learn from as well. So a lot of value for you guys today. For everybody that's here, I see a bunch of new faces. Just understand that Forex is something that isn't going to get you rich overnight. It's not going to get you rich in a day, a week, a month. It's going to take you months and months and months and years to get extremely successful. And some of you guys may never even get successful. Most traders are not profitable. So just disclaimer right out there. I'm not saying that all of you guys are going to get rich. I'm saying that everybody on this call has the potential to make money and become profitable if you guys take this seriously and if you guys learn. A doctor is not going to ever be able to perform surgery well if they don't go to school for a long time and practice. And then after they go to school, they need to go through their residency program and shadow doctors and work with other doctors to fine-tune their skill set and actually start working with real live patients. So it's a very long process, but guess what? It's worth it for them because the end result is worth it. So if you guys have that in mind when you start learning how to trade, that the end result is going to be worth it and that I'm not going to rush the process, you guys are going to cut out so many losses and so many mental struggles in your life, and it's going to make you last a lot longer in these markets. I'll be honest. A majority of people will last under 6 months, and a huge majority will not last more than a year in these markets because they will give up, because they originally get in here with high hopes thinking that they're just going to get in and make a lot of money and be successful and quit their job in a year. And it's just not that easy. If it was that easy and everybody could just quit their job and make money in the Forex markets in under a year and never have to work a day in their life again, everybody would be doing it. This is something that takes a skill set. It takes a level of talent. It takes a level of discipline, and it takes the proper education. So we're going to provide you with a lot of those things. But at the end of the day, if you guys don't have the discipline and you guys don't want it, you're not going to be able to get it. All right. So first thing, as you can see right here, you guys need to stop trading like it's a hobby. I understand that a lot of you guys have jobs, careers, different priorities, but whether you want to turn this into a part-time income or a full-time income for yourself or a fortune, then you need to not treat this like a hobby and treat this like a business, like a profession. All right. Which means that if you're treating this like a business, like a profession, then you need to have all of the knowledge first. All right. You don't go into a business not knowing how to run the business. You go into that business fully with a business plan for yourself. So you guys need to have a trading plan. All right. And your trading plan needs to consist of very key components that's going to allow you to be successful through proven results. And those proven results are obviously not there when you're new, but you can do things called back testing and different things that we teach you throughout our program. So we're going to go through a lot of that right on this webinar and teach you guys few tips to help you guys get started off in the foreign exchange market. I will be honest, most of our students that come to us are not brand new to Forex. They've heard about it before. They know a little bit of the basic concepts. They know what a pip is. They know what currency pairs are. They know different things like that. That's where a majority of our students come from. But they come to us because they don't have they didn't get the right education that they were looking for. They learned the basics. They learned what currency pairs were. They learned how to place their trades, but they weren't consistently profitable. They were struggling. They were struggling to mark up their charts properly. And that's attested to. There's a lot of people out there that are taking advantage of the Forex education industry and are just going ahead and showing people the wrong information and not really caring about their students, not really teaching them the right information. So that's what we're trying to get away from. A lot of people will have a successful strategy and they'll be good traders, and then they start up their own program and they try to teach somebody else their strategy. The problem is that if you don't believe in somebody else's strategy and you don't understand why that strategy works for that person, it's not going to work for you. So a strategy that might work for me may not work for you because of many different factors. What time of day you're able to get up and trade, what type of psychology you have, what's your risk appetite, what currency pairs you like to trade. All of these things affect it. So our whole mission is not to teach you my personal strategy. My whole mission is to teach you guys about technical analysis, fundamental analysis, teach you guys price action, which are basic concepts that everybody needs to have in their trading strategy, and then teach you how to develop your own unique trading strategy that works for you based on your lifestyle, when you can get on the charts, when you can trade, and what you like to trade and what works for you. So that's what we focus on when we're teaching. We teach a lot of important topics that are going to help you develop a trading plan that's going to work for you, because there's not just one trading plan that works for everybody. It doesn't exist. But there are a few key things that everybody needs to know to be able to be successful in the Forex markets. So let's get into some of those few key things. First of all, a lot of people go into the markets and say that the markets are completely random and that nobody knows whether they're going up, down, sideways, left, or right. And this is partially true. All right, we don't know whether the market's going to go up, down, sideways, left, or right at this moment. But there are some important things that we can see to give us a high percentage chance of being right in predicting the direction of the market. All right, and these things start off with basic technical analysis. Technical analysis is simply looking at this whole chart and finding patterns in the market that allow us to see repeatable patterns that we can identify in the past that are going to most likely show up again in the future. So let's go ahead and go to GBP USD. All right, very basic pair. A lot of people like to trade this. I'm going to go to a blank chart so that we can get some basic concepts going. All right, this is the monthly chart, which means that every single one of these candlesticks represents 1 month of price action. This is your most important time frame, no matter what type of trader you are. All right, make sure to write that down. Your monthly time frame is the most important time frame that you're going to trade on, no matter what type of trader you are, because this is where you're going to get the overall picture of the market and where it's going and where it's potentially going. If you don't see the big picture, you're not going to understand the smaller picture. All right, everybody needs to know what's going on in the macro to be able to be profitable in the micro. So I don't care if you're a position trader, I don't care if you're a scalper, I don't care if you're a swing trader, you need to know where your important levels are on your longer term time frames. So we can see that although when we look at this whole chart, that it seems very random in these movements, that the market is just spiking all the way down and then coming up. There are certain areas in this market that are very important. And when the market comes to these areas, we can identify where the market can potentially go to next. I've drawn one line right here. And this is not a support line. This is not a resistance line. This is a level of structure that acts as both support and resistance depending on the time of the market and where it's currently at. All right, I'm going to explain that to you right now because a lot of people say, oh, well, this is support, this is resistance. It's not. This is right now at this point in time acting as support. Over here, it's acting as support. Over here, it's acting as support. This is all the way from 1992, 93 probably, through 2000s, through 2012. Every single time it came to this market, it respected it. However, 2016 came along and it no longer respected this market, this level. And people might say, oh, well, this doesn't make sense. The market, this is why I tell you that the market can go up, down, left, sideways, right. We never know what direction it's going to go to exactly. However, When we see that we've broken through this support and now recently price has retested it as a level of resistance, this is important information to show us where the market is going to next. All right. If the market was constantly bouncing to the upside, bouncing to the upside, bouncing to the upside every single time it hit this level, and then we break to the downside, all right? Now imagine flipping this chart upside down. If we come back to this level, where is it most likely going to go? If we flip this upside down, you see it's shooting up, it's shooting up, it's shooting up. Well, now we've came back to this level. Is it going to shoot up? No, it's going to reject this level just like it most likely did every other time. And that's exactly what it's done so far. But how far is it going to go down? Well, according to what we see on the charts, we can see that the farthest that it most likely will go down doesn't mean guaranteed. The market could continue to crash forever and ever and ever, and the British pound could just be worthless compared to the US dollar. But we can see that we have a point in the market back in 1985 where the market created a low. All right. So if I were to guess, if the market continued to crash and did not break above this level, we're most likely eventually going to come down to this level. Not because I'm some guru, but just because data shows that this is a level where price, although we crashed all the way from up here down to here, was able to recover most of its way back up. And now we're crashing again and heading back down. So this is an area where we could potentially recover from. Okay, the market is currently in a downtrend on the monthly time frame. Now, does that mean that if you're a scalper, that if you're an intraday trader, that you can't make a buy position on this trade? Absolutely not. This is why we can break the market down more and more and more as we see things. So let's go ahead and fix these really quick. So we can see. So now that we're on the weekly time frame, we can see right here that price respected this not once, but with 2 rejections after breaking through this level. Yes, we'll go over GJ. Make sure to leave your questions for the end so we can answer all of them at once. We'll even go through some of the pairs that you guys would like to go through, just so we can keep this lesson fluid and then get straight to the questions and not waste anybody's time. So we can see right here, the market made a breakthrough in this monthly level of support that it had been rejecting since the 90s. Now we've retested it as structure again as now resistance. So we're in a downtrend. But now that we're on the weekly time frame, there are more levels of structure that we can use to be able to identify where the market is going to next. This is how we take the randomness of the market away from everything in the market. So we can see right here that now in the short term, well, short term on the weekly compared to the monthly, we can see more structures on our shorter term time frame to give us a direction on where the market's potentially going to next. We see that this was broken, acted as resistance, acted as a resistance here, and now acted as a resistance again. And then we see levels of support on the weekly time frame that allowed it to recover after we came back up. So now, instead of us saying, all right, the market may potentially come all the way down to here, which it very well might, we now need to make sure, hey, well, the market might come down to here only before it comes back up. Because we see that the market came here before and shot all the way back up to here. So we identify more and more of these points as we come down the time frames to be able to see where the market's potentially going. All right, one more thing that we can do here is identify our overall trend. So when we look at this, we can see that since June 30th of 2014 that we have been making lower lows. So this is a potential trend line that we can draw. Now, I don't normally like trend lines, but this gives you perspective as to now we are still on a longer term time frame, making lower lows and constantly dropping in the market. All right, so let's go to the daily time frame. Once again, try to keep your questions to the end so that we can make sure to attack all of them at once. Now we're on the daily time frame. All right, now we're starting to get into more of the intraday and short-term swing trading timeframes. to where we can kind of see where's the market potentially going. All right, so we see right here that the lower the time frame is, it doesn't get as clean anymore. It gets a little bit more messy and messy and messy as we see things. And everything's not all super clean like it was on the weekly and monthly, which is why it's so important to start on these higher time frames. We see clear resistance levels here, support that doesn't quite hit, but this is still a touch right there, support here in the market. So this is a clear level of structure on our daily time frame. Now when we bring it over to where price currently is right now, we can see that we've touched this level again and we're rejecting it. So this is, once again, like I was telling you, just because on the monthly time frame we were in a very bearish market, does that mean that we can't take buys? Absolutely not. As you can see, last week we had FOMC. The US dollar had huge weakness, and all of our students took advantage of many of the USD pairs being able to place buys last week and make considerable profits. You can see that all last week, over 150 pips to the upside, actually more, around 200 pips to the upside from this level of support. So we could have absolutely profited 200 pips with $1 per pip. That's a $200 profit on one trade. With a standard, you're talking about $2,000 right there. That can cover a lot of people's bills right there, just in 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days. A 200 pip move, all right? So that's very significant, okay? So we can make money going against the long-term time frame, all right? But we need to understand that our long-term time frame is going to judge the overall movement of the market so that we don't get caught up in being on the wrong side of the trade as often, all right? So lastly, we're just going to go to the 4-hour. We're not going to go any lower than this, just to continue to identify structures and how we could have potentially took advantage of this trade. All right, so we can see right here that we had price retest this structure, and it kind of broke through lower on our 4-hour time frame to where we could have said, all right, well, now we're looking for sells. However, we had no bearish candles right here showing us to enter to sell into the market. Instead, what we can see is if we draw our shorter term trend line right here, that we had a break of this trend line to recover back to the upside. From there, we could have looked for entries on our 1-hour, 30-minute time frames and been able to take this move for 152 pips with a 2.4 to 1 risk reward ratio. So we're not trying to get the pips from all the way down here. This is not where traders make their money, which is where a lot of you guys get messed up, because you see all that on Instagram. You see these entries at these little tiny wicks all the way at the bottom, all the way to the upside. You're like, how did this guy know he was going to go to the upside? This makes no sense. And to be honest, I would have never placed a trade to the upside right here because we broke below previous structure. So I would be expecting a retest to come back down. All right, especially since on the weekly and on the daily, we're in a bearish market. I mean, on the weekly and the monthly, we're in a bearish market. So now that we identify that, we look for a potential retest to go short again. Instead, we break to the upside. So as traders, we don't predict in the market, we adapt and we overcome. So we react to the market. So here we're reacting to the market, showing us momentum to the upside, showing a break in this trend to come back to the upside, and you could have gotten 150 pips on this trade. Now, what does that mean to you? That means that with a standard lot, you're making $1,500 while only risking, let's see, less than $700 on this trade to make over $1,500. All right, you have a smaller account, you're risking $60, $70 to make around $160. On top of that, we're going to be able to teach you guys how to do that and be accurate around 70 to 85% of the time. Why? Because we're being patient and waiting to react instead of guessing into where the market is. If you guys would have tried to just sell blindly right here because we retested this level of resistance, you would have lost on this trade. And that's what a lot of traders do. They know about support and resistance. They know about trend lines. They know about a lot of things, but what they don't know how to do is execute. All right, so this is what we're teaching people right now. We're teaching them to be patient. We're teaching them to wait for the right setups so that they can have the proper risk to reward, that they can have the proper entries, and they can make the most profits with the least amount of losses. Because you could make insane profits all day, but if you are losing 50% of your trades and your risk to reward is like this, to where you're risking 180 pips to make 150, or you're going ahead and cutting your profits short and you're risking 70 pips to make 40 pips, you're never going to make money in the market, no matter how many times your take profit can get hit. So you can show me putting 20 lots on this trade and making a crap ton of money with 45 pips. But if you show me your long-term results after 100 trades, after 200 trades, I guarantee you won't have an account. Not because of your analysis being wrong, but because that one loss that is larger than your wins is going to take out all of your potential wins. All right. So you guys need to trade the right way. And there's a few different things that everybody needs to implement into your trading plan to be able to profit. And that's what we're going to help you to do. I'm going to give you guys a little insight right here onto a couple of things that we offer. And then we're going to go ahead and show you guys what we offer and then go into our Q&A. So once you guys join our program, all right, you're going to get access to a lot of training and educational material. And for those of you guys who are on here, you guys have already probably seen a lot of our free material. All right, so let's go out of this and show you guys some of the free material that we offer all of you guys, okay? So let's go ahead, go to our homepage. And I'm going to show you guys some of the free content that you guys can use. All right, because I'm all about, look, I might not be the teacher for you. I might not be the one that's going to help you guys be a profitable trader. Everybody learns different ways. I guarantee you, all of you guys who have went to school have had a teacher that you absolutely hate, but somebody else in your class loves and learns very, very well from them. So everybody learns differently, and everybody has different ways of learning. So if you don't learn well from the way I teach, it's completely fine. Find somebody that teaches you that you can understand from. So as you can see, free. What do we offer you? A lot of you guys saw this link from our free signals channel. Now, I can go ahead and pull up 50 different websites right now that are going to charge you anywhere from $50 to $500 for signals, just for trade signals. Now, a trade signal doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't take any work. It doesn't take any time of my day. All I do is I copy my chart or my take profits and send it to you guys so that you guys can take advantage of that. Now, the problem with selling signals, in my opinion, morally, is that you guys are not getting a lot of educational value from that. You guys are not learning anything from that. And if you don't know how to trade, you don't know how to manage your positions, you're not going to really make money from that either way. Why? Because when you see a trade in 20 pips and drawdown and you don't understand how to read a chart, you don't understand if it's a good time to pull out or if you should continue to hold it because it's still a valid trade. If you're 50, 75 pips in profit, you don't know whether you should continue to hold that trade or whether you should take profits early. You don't know whether when you're 180 pips in profit and you drop down to 70 pips in profit, whether you should continue to hold that trade and let it go to your 250 pip target, or whether you should just cut it there and make your 75 pip profits and go. So a lot of people who don't know how to trade and expect to just get signals and become profitable, and this is their get rich quick type of thing, because I think I don't have to do any of the work. I don't have to learn how to trade. All I need to do is copy from this guy who makes money and I'm going to make money. Unfortunately, trading is not that simple. So we offer this service for people who want to get started on their demo account, see how our trades work, and show you guys our charts, show you guys what we're doing in the market so you guys can see the results that we are getting. And if you know how to trade, then those signals are definitely valuable for you and can help you out and give you insight. But I wouldn't feel right charging anybody for that. So what we charge for is the stuff that we take time, energy, and resources to be able to provide to you, which is our mentorship program. We have two different options to be able to get that. You either have our monthly program to where you guys get billed monthly, which is obviously cheaper on the short term. It's $99 a month. I can show you plenty of people that are charging $200, $300, $400, $500. Go to Market Traders Institute. Very reputable company. They have great traders, but it's going to cost you about $500 a month to be a part of their program. plenty of other examples of traders and educators out there that are going to charge you a lot more just because their overhead is more. All right. So we were able to provide you the service for $99 a month, which includes the free signals that you guys are already getting, live video calls like this 3 to 5 times a week. On top of that, I'm going to show you guys on our login on our back page side, you guys are going to get access to our full online course with over a dozen videos. And then any webinars that you miss. So you guys have work. I understand you guys have busy schedules. You guys have work and we have an important webinar and you're not able to attend. That webinar is going to be up on our membership access page for you guys to watch that whole week. So you're busy on Wednesday when we're doing the webinar, you can watch it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is when we start uploading our new webinars for the next week. All right. So you'll have access to be able to watch those even if you can't get on our live training and work with us and ask questions with us and work with the group together. But those live training calls are super important. It allows you guys to ask questions, allows you guys to see exactly from our charts. And that's when the students who do best really just drill us with questions, and can learn as much as possible from us and extract as much information as possible. On top of that, you're going to get access to our group chats, where you can ask questions in our group chat 24/7, 365. I've had people asking questions at 3 in the morning. On top of that, there's traders in there who have been with us 6, 7, 8, 9 months, who have learned a lot of information, can help you. So it's not just me teaching, it's a community of traders working together to help you. And you're gonna end up bonding with a lot of these people as well, because trading in itself is a very solitary thing. So to be able to create a community where all of you guys can work together is an amazing thing. All right, so you're going to get access to all of that stuff on top of our watch list. What our watch list is, I'll show you guys when we log in, is where myself and our other professional trader, Arnaud, will send out on this watch list charts with detailed notes and information of all the stuff that you guys are going to be able to access. It's going to give you a detailed chart, for example, of USD CHF, what our bias is, where we're looking for entry reasons, if it's not already ready for a potential entry, and why. This way, it's more than a signal. You're getting notes, you're getting information that's going to tell you why, and my thought process and my trading plan spelled out bullet point by bullet point by bullet point, so you can follow the same thing. Our other option for those of you guys who want to save money is to get our lifetime mentorship program. You're going to get everything that I just went over for a one-time payment of $500. You guys get access to our course as long as we're running this program for minimum of a year. So if we keep doing this for 20 years, 30 years, you guys are going to have access to this community. We plan to keep this community open long term. Whether I'm out there working in some hedge fund, I still want to do this because I like teaching. All right, so I'm not planning on doing this for the short term. We've been doing this for a year, and I plan to do this 10, 20, 30 years longer. All right, so you get access to everything for as long as we're around. So now let's go ahead and log in, and I'm going to show you guys everything that we offer. We'll go ahead and we log in. You're going to see all of the different lessons that we have here. These are all video lessons along with different PowerPoints and tools you guys are going to be able to use. All right, bunch of videos. On top of that, as you can see, here's our area where you guys are going to get our watch list. You're going to see the results that we've had from previous weeks. You're going to see our current trades that we're currently in, along with potential re-entries. So this AUD USD trade, we already had an initial entry, and now we were looking at potential re-entries. All right, I can show you guys right here. When it initially hit our watch list, this was our entry right here. And then we sent an update to our watch list for potential re-entries. All right, you see these potential re-entries. This was the chart. It has not hit that level. Now you can see that it hit that level and bounced completely up to it. So you were not only able to profit from this first entry, but from the second entry as well. All right, these are live examples. All right, GBP JPY, going to be honest, it's currently in about 20 pips of drawdown. All right, look at XRP USD long. All right, this has been on our watch list for about 2 weeks. We go ahead and look at XRP USD right now. Okay, these were the two different watch list call outs that we sent. All right, our first one is over 510 pips in profit right now, and at its peak was 1,009 pips in profit in a 2-week trade. 1,009 pips with a second trade entering also with hundreds and hundreds of pips on XRP USD with very minimal risk. You see 7-to-1 risk reward ratio on this. We see 11.1 risk to reward ratio on this trade. All right, so these are actual trades that we've taken. Euro AUD, no trade, but we're giving you guys detailed notes on what we're looking for our next potential trade, because 2 weeks ago we actually got out of this trade with 200 pips in profit. So now we're waiting for our next potential move. All right, NZD USD last week, long analysis. You can see we had a first entry that went into drawdown. It did not hit our take profit. We found a second potential entry, and now both entries are in profit. I can go show you the chart right now, real time. All right, we see this was our first entry down here. I was looking at another potential reentry, never took it, but this was our first entry right here. We went into drawdown, never hit our stop loss. Now we've moved our stop loss to break even. We see that this second trade is also in profit now. And this is, I believe, around another 100 pips in profit. 78 pips in profit plus our second entry. All right, USD CHF, another trade. You can see where we entered. You can see where price is currently at right now, over 200 pips in profit. So you guys are going to see these verified results, and it's not in a group chat to where you have to slide up and slide up and slide up and try to find the trades, and then you lose track of it while you're at work. You see that we posted 20 different charts, and now you can't see it because it was in a group chat. These are right on your membership access page so that you guys can see these. And this is just my watch list. Now we go over and we have our other trader, Arnaud, is going to show you his watch list as well, show you verified results, detailed notes for each one of his entries. You could see over and over and over again. All right, all of this is access to you on top of the webinars, on top of the videos. So there's a lot of education here for you guys if you guys want to use it, and if this is something that you think is going to help you guys learn how to trade. So that is my whole spiel. Now I want to go into the Q&A and really help all of you guys learn. So whatever questions you guys have, let's start asking them. I know that there was a couple in there already. Let's see if I can get to them. So for the 10 of you guys that stayed on, I know we were up to 13 or 14. The 10 of you guys that stayed on, thank you guys so much. Now we're going to get into Q&As, and you guys can ask me whatever your heart desires. So let's see. Can I go over GJ, please? GJ, currently, I have a short bias on it. However, it is not playing very nicely. So we can see that we broke through weekly resistance. When we look at our daily time frame, it was a very clear entry for me, which is why I took it, and unfortunately it didn't play out. We had 2 rejections on the 4-hour time frame with a strong daily closure with a strong wick to the downside. Unfortunately, now we're pushing away. This was very basic for me to enter. A continuation of the weekly, of the overall direction of the trend, which was bearish. We had our retracement. We had another impulse move. We had another retracement right here. We're hoping to push lower. Unfortunately, it's not. So if this trade goes ahead and continues to reject like these wicks, we'll see we may continue bearish. If not, we should break to the upside, meet this resistance. From there, we can potentially see a pullback. From that pullback, we need to see and wait for bullish confirmation. If there's no bullish confirmation to break back to the upside, then what's going to happen, most likely, is that price will find resistance here and then break to the downside and continue with this overall bearish trend, because a long-term trend is definitely bearish on GJ. It's been bearish for over a month. So I hope that helps you and gives you a little bit of insight for GBP JPY. Go ahead, we go over to the chat. Is there a rule or theory about how many times the market touches those points, about how we can figure out the direction? In general, you want at least 3 touches for you to consider it a point of interest for a structure. However, something like this is significant because this is a liquidity wick, which means that price is going to most likely retest this zone if we ever come back up to fill that liquidity wick. So there's different things and different meanings. So this is technical, a level of support because we have multiple touches. Fundamentally, this is an important level because price has had this significant rejection while we're in a downtrend. And if we go ahead and bring our technicals with our fundamentals, we draw this, we can see that price had that liquidity wick to come back and retest our technical level of support and resistance right here. So this is an overall downtrend. We get that liquidity wick that comes back up to here to grab more sell orders, and then we continue to the downside. But in general, for technical analysis, you want to see at least 3 touches. All right. Can you go over USD CAD? Dollar is bearish, all right? Dollar is very bearish. We should continue being bearish, okay? We saw a pullback, all right? Did we get a complete pullback? No, so there was no entry as far as a pullback entry. If we continue to this upside and retest this trend line, retest a quarter key level, 38.2, that would be a potential re-entry on USD CAD if you were not able to grab hold of these shorts from up here, all right? Don't rush this entry. Don't be crazy with this. Wait for your confirmations, wait for this complete pullback, and then wait for bearish confirmation to re-enter. If you don't see that, don't enter. Don't chase a trade, don't overtrade. That's how you lose money. Any other trades, any other questions, anything that you guys want to go to? It doesn't have to be a certain pair. It could be just a theory. It could be a general question. It could be a question about our program, anything. Let me know. I love UCAD so much. UCAD is not one of my favorite pairs. I will be honest. I am not a big fan of UCAD. Not a fan of a lot of USD pairs, except for GU. But I've grown to like it in certain conditions. You have to be very patient with USD CAD and really wait for your confirmations on it.
Do you focus on specific pairs or do you focus on all?
Absolutely. Any trader that focuses on all pairs is, in my opinion, very crazy because it's going to stress you out a lot. It's a lot of charts to be going through over and over and over again. A good trader will have certain pairs that they are focused on and that they trade most of the time because every single pair moves slightly different. Pairs are correlated and move similarly, but there's certain characteristics to each pair that is different from one another, just like people. All right, we're all very similar, but again, we're all very different in certain aspects. So you need to be able to really get to know the pairs that you like to trade, know how they operate, know how they move, and know what to expect from them. Gold moves very differently from USD CHF or CAD CHF. Completely different spectrums. All right, gold, if it finds a level of important structure, will just fly, endlessly fly until it reaches the next level of daily structure, while USD CHF will slowly move in those healthy waves. All right, so you need to know what you prefer, what works better for you. So I focus on gold, GBP pairs, and a few different indices, US 30, NAS 100, SPX 500. Those are my focuses. Now, as you can see on my watch list, it was not very GBP focused. All right, we had a lot of USD CHF. We had a lot of NZD USD. Why? Because we had FOMC and it was just super easy for me to be able to grab those moves. So that's what I was focused on. From technical analysis, 3 touches is great info. Is there any other info along the train of thought that's good to know when waiting for entries? Yes, candlestick formations. I will not name not one candlestick formation for you, and if I try to name it, I will get it wrong. But over the years of trading, you learn the way different candles close gives you a lot of different information. I know basically engulfing candles and pin bars as far as the names of candles, but there are different candles that will show you bullish rejection versus bearish rejection. What that means is this is a bearish rejection, which is why it continues down. This is a bullish rejection, which is why it eventually continued up until we got a bearish rejection to come down. All right. So there's certain things that you look into the market, and we teach candlestick confirmations a lot in the market that will give you an example of differences between bearish and bullish signals for entry. So candlesticks and how they close is super important, especially depending on the time frame and time of the week it is, time of the month it is. Time sequencing is also very important. Any other questions? A lot of new faces on this call. I want to thank you guys all for jumping on. Thank you guys all for spending time out of your busy days to be able to jump on this call. Any last questions before you guys go? All right, so what I want you guys to do is any of you guys who are not part of our program and are interested in learning with us, interested in joining the community, being part of all of the traders that are working with us, learning with us, earning money with us, and get access to our watch list, our live webinars, our training videos, and so much other content, be sure to head over to pivottoprofit.com and do your own research. I'll drop the link right there. And then also make sure to DM me, either on Instagram, on Telegram, anything, at Pivot to Profit. Both of them are in the chat box. Ask me whatever questions you want. I'll even get on a phone call with you. I'll get on a video call with you one-on-one. Because before you guys do anything, I want to make sure that you guys are comfortable and want me to be one of the main people that's going to help educate you. And so you know and are comfortable with the style and like the way that I teach and like what we offer. All right. And the last thing that I want is for somebody to join our program and waste their time, waste their energy, and not be able to learn and really get the value that they deserve out of the program. So that's what I want to make sure that you guys get. If you guys don't want to join our program, completely fine. What I want you guys to do is get as much free value as possible. So follow us on Instagram at Pivot to Profit, and we have access to free Forex webinars on there. You go to our website as well. It'll give you free links to our free Forex webinars. Most of you guys are already in our free trading channel. All right. You guys are going to get access to as well. You scroll down, you're going to get our official Forex podcast. We're going to get a lot of information on trading psychology and overcoming a lot of barriers that a lot of traders get. So you can listen to our Forex podcast right here. You can download it on Apple Music, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, anything that you use, Google Podcasts. It's on every single one of them. Just look it up and you'll be able to find it, or go to our website and click it and you'll be able to get a quick link to get over there. All right, so there's a lot of free content. You can go over to YouTube as well. Subscribe to us. We're going to be uploading a lot more videos to our YouTube as well, and be able to get access to older trainings that we've done in the past as well, and be able to learn from us as well. So everything, as long as you type in Pivot to Profit, you will see plenty of videos and education. This is all free content for you guys, and I want you to use it to learn from it. If you guys want more than just the free stuff, make sure to send us a DM, contact with me, and I promise you guys that you guys will get as much value as I can possibly offer to you guys. Thank you guys so much for getting on this webinar. Hope you got a lot of value. You guys learned from this.